got the itinerary there in front of you, Al?
We arrived at the airport at 4 a.m.
Wow, that was early.
I met a man from Wayland.
You met John Roveland, you said?
Yeah, who comes from Wayland. And he and his wife used to go to dances that May Campbell and I played maybe 30 years ago.
Oh, back that your band played?
So I knew him, didn't know he was going to go on this trip. We arrived in, we took the 6 o'clock a.m. plane, arrived at 7:15 in Baltimore. At 8 o'clock we departed to D.C. on motor coaches. 9 o'clock arrived in Arlington Cemetery. Saw the changing of the guard of the unknown soldier.
Well, what did you think of that, having seen it in person?
The thing that impressed me most was that they'd walk 21 steps and stand immobile for maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes, turn around, walk 21 steps back to the other side. We were there about 20 minutes before the sergeant came out with another soldier, and it had the changing the guard. That was it was terrific.
Al, what do the 21 steps signify? It must have a meaning.
I really don't know.
Okay, because they have 21 gun salutes.
I was thinking it must be the 21 gun salute.
Yes.
That's.
We've all heard of a 21 gun salute, but do you know what the 21? Why 21 and not 27 or something?
No, is it for the burials? They have 21 gun salute.
Yeah. I'll look it up on the internet.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyhow, that was very impressive.
Then we went to the World War II Memorial.
Oh, yeah.
And it must be on 2 acres of ground. Well, you went there.
Yes.
Babette had to push me in a wheelchair.
Yeah, Babette's your daughter, right?
Yes.
How did it feel to be at the World War II Memorial with your daughter after all these years?
It was exciting.
Oh, cool.
We saw, all in the place where, I don't know. Then we took a group photo there.
Yeah. There's a monument to every state.
And you're probably too young to remember Kilroy.
Kilroy?
Kilroy.
All right.
That was sort of a joke amongst soldiers and sailors.
Sure. Kilroy was here.
And they got a spot in the corner of the World Memorial that Kilroy was here.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. Then we loaded on the bus at 12 o'clock, or 12:15, and had lunch on the bus. Then we stopped at the Navy Plaza, and then we went to the Lincoln Memorial.
Mm-hmm.
And I went over to the Vietnam Veterans Memorial.
Yes.
And I met a lady, and she had a large book, opened it up and asked me what I was looking for, and I showed her my James R. Moore.
Yes.
And she took me over to the wall, and
there are how many names on the wall?
54,000.
54,000.
And
yes.
She did a
she gave
paper
you
scraping.
Okay, she did a rubbing of James R. Moore. Yes.
Which tonight I'm going to give to the VFW.
Oh, that is cool.
and she said that because there's a cross, means that he was missing in action.
Yes. Yeah.
So that was.
So the respect that they showed and the organization they had and their willingness to help people find things really meant a lot to you, didn't it?
We went to the Arlington Cemetery, and my cousin, who's a captain in the Army, he's buried there.
Yes.
But I couldn't believe how big it was. I knew it was big, but even if I knew where he was, I had never found
it's immense,
his grave. It was that was one disappointment. We went at 1 o'clock. We arrived at the Korea. Well, I said that with the. Then we went to the Iwo Jima Memorial.
Okay.
And that's impressive.
Wow.
Have you been there?
I have been. Well, it stood out for you when you went there.
Yeah, it's. And then we went to the Air Force Memorial.
Yeah.
At 4:45, we went back to. We departed D.C. and 6 o'clock arrived at the hotel in Maryland. At 7 o'clock at night, we had a banquet. After the banquet, Babette and I were tired, so we went up to the room.
Oh, I bet you were. How old are you, Al?
How old?
How old, yeah.
96.
You're 96, and you did all this in a day.
But I wasn't the oldest.
No, I bet you weren't.
There was a man from Canandaigua, Sam Jones.
Yeah.
He's 2 months older than me.
Okay, well, he was the old man then.
What happened at the dinner, they announced the oldest man.
Yeah.
Sam Jones. And I challenged him, but I found out he was older than me. Then the next morning we got up for breakfast at 6 o'clock. And we got on the bus at 7:30. Arrived in, we departed 10:25. Arrived in Rochester 11:30. And then they had a welcome party for us.
Oh, wow.
So that was
when you got back.
Our trip.
That was a trip. There's sort of an editorial comment here. My daughter's studying to be a Presbyterian minister, and she was preaching in my church for me. I think it was last Christmas. And for some reason, she wanted to look at. There was a movie about the woman who lost, I think, 3 sons inside of a month, and they went to looking for his 4th son, and he was in Normandy, because they decided no family should have to lose that many children. And so after that, the military made sure that children were separated in their units, and that secondly, they would not draft all the children in one family or allow them all to volunteer. And it was a story of the retrieving of this man. And there was a scene of the invasion of Normandy, and I didn't realize it, but my daughter had no concept of what you and your generation had to go through. The idea of all of those landing boats opening up and walking into a wall of machine gun fire. She had absolutely no concept, and she looked at me with her mouth open, and she said, "You mean that's what people had to do for my freedom?" I said, "Oh, yes."
We got to thank the students in Naples and Rotary and some other organizations that sent in contributions so that we were
The Historical Society made a contribution, and the Rotary in Canandaigua also.
Yeah, I mean, that was, and at this, after we came back, there were several organizations that gave checks for the next group.
Yes. Yeah, this is all sponsored by Honor Flight, and it's all underwritten by individual donations. And our kids in the Naples Naples schools raised $2,500 of the money that was sent.
Yes.
I mean, we sent over 5,000, all the groups that participated.
And I know Rotary, I don't know who else gave.
The Historical Society and the Canandaigua Rotary. So anybody that knows a vet in the area that would like to get on Honor Flight, please get into contact with Bill Cooper or Al Mann.
Well, if it wasn't for Bill, I wouldn't have gone.
Right. Bill Cooper's really kind of the guy that's heading this up.
My name wasn't even on the list.
Yeah, he said your name had been left off on an oversight.
Yeah.
He got on him and said, "This isn't right."
So
of course
Babette was my guardian.
Your guardian angel.
I mean,
Again.
Here I'm her father, and she's my guardian. But she was terrific.
Oh, I know. I know she was.
We got back, and her picture's in the paper. Did you see it Sunday?
No, I didn't. In the Rochester paper? Or the Daily Messenger?
Yeah, I think it was a Rochester paper.
Or the Daily Messenger?
I have it inside. I'll show it to you.
Okay, I would like to check that out.
They did the cemetery in Victor, one that was all the monuments were torn down, and so she and 3 other women brought it back to.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Babette's the historian up at, besides being Al's daughter, is a historian at Victor, and cares very deeply about the heritage of her community. And
so there was one other CB there on the trip, and he was legally blind. He had a cane.
Okay.
And 2 women, veterans.
Yeah. How many people were on your flight altogether?
Pardon?
How many people were on your flight altogether?
Well, it was 54 of us.
54 of you.
With their guardians.
Yes.
Plus 6 others. There were 2 nurses. And a leader. And then each bus had 1 or 2 people in charge of the buses. And there was 2 buses.
Yeah. So you're very grateful for the people who made this possible for you. Sitting here in this beautiful yard of yours on a great fall day, what sort of one thing would you like people to think about?
Would I like people think?
What would you like people to think about?
What a wonderful country we live in. And I didn't realize that World War II, that so many people were killed. You know, when you go to World War II monument, it's just tremendous to bring it back. I don't feel like I did that much.
No, but you and millions of people in your generation, both in the military and in supporting the military, means we speak English today.
My best friends, one was in the invasion in Europe, and the other one was a pilot who flew. I had 3 cousins who were in Germany during the war. I feel they did more than we did, except our battalion, and I have to say, built the runway in Honolulu for the B-29s so they could come in.
Oh, really?
And
you had no idea of what you were involved in, did you?
And they still, the field in Honolulu is still the same one that they put in.
Yeah, you must have done it right.